Each and every one of you this evening to our monthly meeting. Some of you are aware that we come here once a month to meet as a group, to talk about the things that we do, and more specifically, to have our young students who are part of our internship program present their programs to us in attendance. I've been to many of these meetings, and I can tell you that the students have done a phenomenal and awesome job of researching their topic and presenting that topic here at this meeting. It encourages participation, not only in academic, but where I am from, the law enforcement profession. It brings, I think, guidance to them, and I not only want to thank the students for doing what they do, but they wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't for the people on the other side, and that's all the parents of the students. So each and every one of you who brought your child into this program, I know you want nothing more than the very best for them. And I want all the students to know that it's so important to make your family proud of what you do, and you're doing it each and every day when you come to events like this. But I'm going to ask that if we all would just please rise for our monthly prayer. I would like my board member, Peter Park, to lead us in a prayer. Peter, you are here, I think. Peter, do you have a microphone on that end?
Yeah.
Okay. I shall mind down.
예, 기도하겠습니다. 하나님, 너무 고맙습니다. 이 시대에 이런 모임을 우리가 갖게 하신 것은 하나님의 특별한 계획이 있는 줄 압니다. 우리 학생들이 이 모임을 통해서 더 크게 보게 하셔서 하나님의 기쁨이 되는 훌륭한 리더들이 나올 수 있도록 하나님 특별히 하늘문 여시고 신령한 것으로 채워주셔서 정말 동포 사회를 변화시킬 뿐만이 아니라 세계적인 리더가 나올 수 있도록 하나님 특별히 부탁하오니 도와주시옵소서. 항상 밥구걸이 우리 동포 사회를 위해서 이렇게 힘쓰고 애쓰는데 하나님 그의 가는 길도 하나님께서 평탄케 하시고 온전케 하시고 리더하는데 조금 더 부족함이 없도록 도와주시고 우리 데니엘 성 하나님 아버지 여러 가지로 아버지의 협력 계획을 이루어가고 있습니다. 아버지 도와주시옵소서. 이 모임이 하나님의 돌보심으로 복되게 되는 것을 우리 학부형들이 함께 볼 수 있도록 축복하여 주시옵소서. 살아계신 예수님의 이름 받들어서 간절히 기도드렸습니다. 아멘.
Amen. And if you please remain standing, I will ask our very special guest, my dear friend, Chief Frank Regino, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Chief.
Thank you, and would you kindly join me to honor America? Raise the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. We could all take our seats. Once again, everybody, I want to take this opportunity to welcome you this evening to our monthly meeting of the United States Law Enforcement Coalition. A valuable part of the network of what we do is to allow young students to be involved with our internship program. Before we hear from our students and our special guest, I'd like to take the opportunity to introduce and make sure the executive board of our organization be recognized. And when I call your name, board member, if you would kindly rise so we can make sure that we acknowledge your presence. Now, I may not pronounce these right, so forgive me if I do. But Young, I know the last name, but Young Yo Park. And and the owner of this establishment, she may not be here in the room, but I know she's here. Un-hee Ha. Miss Ha, if you're out there and you hear us, we recognize you as well. Hee Jung Oh, Jin Wan Kim, Jun Park, Hain Sun, Yun Mo Lee, Alex Lee, Chung Yo Bak, my good friend Peter Park, U.S. 3, and my other dear friend sitting right next to me, Mr. Daniel Song. Well, it takes me great pleasure to announce our special guest this evening. He's a friend of mine. He's the police chief in the Westwood Police Department. Frank Regino has been a police officer for 44 years. 44 years of law enforcement. He doesn't even look 44 years of age. He has no stress in Westwood. There is no crime. There is no thing that he can't handle in Westwood. But anyway, my dear friend has been the police chief of Westwood Police Department for, I believe, 14 years? 12. 12 years, and this is his 44th year in law enforcement. Frank Regino not only is the police chief in Westwood, but just come off being the immediate past president of the Bergen County Police Chiefs Association, an association comprised of all the police departments in Bergen County, and Bergen County is the largest county in the state of New Jersey, with 70 municipalities, 68 of them having police departments, and then you also have the Bergen County Sheriff's Department, the Bergen County Prosecutor's Office, and the former Bergen County Police Department, now part of the Sheriff's Office's Bureau of Police Services. Well, Frank, like I said, has been the president of the Bergen County Police Chiefs. He's been leading the community of Westwood as the police chief for the last 12 years. Please, I give the microphone and give your attention to my good friend, Chief Frank Regino.
Good evening and thank you. I just want to say that it's truly an honor to be invited here tonight. I've met several wonderful people, Daniel Song being one of them, and Alex recently that I met. I just want to say that being in law enforcement to me is, the most honorable profession that I could have ever done for myself. I can say that I've enjoyed being a police officer for all of these years. There's never been a day that's gone by that I have not enjoyed my profession. I started out in 1974 as a 21-year-old that just got out of high school a couple of years before. I started working for a home improvement company in the town of Gloucester, where I grew up, and I took a couple of tests for police officer and was fortunate enough to get hired in Westwood. And I spent the next 17 years as a patrol officer in Westwood. In 1990, I was fortunate enough, after taking a few exams, to be promoted to a supervisory position as a sergeant of police in the police department. I spent the next 9 years as a sergeant supervising a squad, and then fortunate enough then to get promoted to a command position of lieutenant. I spent 2 years as a lieutenant, and then I was again fortunate enough to be promoted to captain. I spent 4 years as a captain, which at that point I was like third in command of the department. Then after 4 years, I was promoted to deputy chief, which I spent 9 months as deputy chief while the chief was out on his retirement leave. And then after 9 months, I was promoted to chief, and I've had the honor of being a police chief in Westwood for the last 12 years. Westwood itself is a very diverse community. We have a portion of black community, an African American community, where we have now a growing Korean population in Westwood. I believe there's 2 churches in Westwood now that have members from the Korean community. And I've also had the honor of being invited to a breakfast at one of the churches there. And I've gotten to meet a number of Korean folks in Westwood, and it's been an honor for me. I encourage all of the young people here that are studying law enforcement. It's a very honorable career, and I encourage you to continue, and I'm looking forward to hearing your research papers. Thank you, and thank you for having me here.
Thank you, Chief. I feel like a rookie here. I'm only 34 years compared to my friend here, 44 years. But I can tell you throughout my career as the police chief and a police officer, always count on people like Chief Regino to give us advice. He's a well-mannered, well-respected police chief and police officer, mild-mannered, never getting excited, always low-key, and again, 44 years is a remarkable long time to remain in a profession, and you only remain in a profession for 44 years because you love what you do. He doesn't treat it as a job, it's a way of life for him. And in our field, in the police field, in the municipal county police field, they mandate that you retire at a certain age, and if it wasn't for that mandate, this man, 44 years, I know, will continue to be in the law enforcement, but he's reaching that mark when he has to be mandated to leave the service, and Frank will remain the Westwood Police Chief for the remainder of this year, but as he turns the page next year, he'll be a retired Westwood Police Chief, and he has many more years in front of him, and I give him and best wishes for him and his family for the rest of his life. God bless you, Frank, for your service.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, at this point of the program, we're going to present 4 students, or 4 or 5, I'm not sure how many, hopefully there's at least 4 here, to give their presentations. Now, a little bit about these presentations. This is part of our internship program where they're asked to research a topic that they choose to research. And this isn't a very easy task. When you hear the presentation that they're about to give, you will understand how much involved this is. This program is all about encouraging our younger students to be actively involved in their community, in their government, and in law enforcement. You know, our organization is all about law enforcement and the continuation of good government in our communities. And we need good people. We need good people to grow up not only in the community, but to be actively involved in your community. And the way to do this is exactly what you're doing right now. For whatever reason it is, you're here, you're involved in our program, and I want to once again thank not only our board of directors, our organization, for making such a great program, but for the parents or the guardians of these children who have made the opportunity for them to be real. And young students, you know what lies ahead. It's a very difficult task that lies ahead, because you have to be good in school, you got to have good grades, hopefully get scholarship money so your parents don't need to spend too much money for this education. But an education is so important, and I know I echo the thoughts of all these parents when I say they want the very best for you. That is our goal in life. I have 3 children of my own. I want the very best for my children. As a matter of fact, like them, I want my children to have a better life than I had. That's our goal. That's what they want. They want you to have a better life than them. They want to give you everything that you can get to make yourself successful, and not only for you, but for your generations, your children, your children's children to come, because that makes your parents, the other side of the table, very, very happy and proud. But tonight, we're going to ask our presenters to please go to the podium over there on that far end and give your presentation. After I announce who you are, please go up there and announce, you know, who you are, where you're from, and do your report. And then if there's any questions after they are done, I want you to remain at the podium for any questions that may be posed to you. So, our first student is Edward Cho. Edward Cho is a 10th grader at Don Bosco Preparatory High School. And his parents are hopefully here. Mother, Sung Hee Han? Sung Hee, where are you? Okay. Hi, Sung Hee.
Hi.
And father, Quin Yan Cho.
He's not here.
Not here.
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't do it.
Well, Edward,